Let's try this again. Freak out. Hey man, you had a freak out. You had a freak out, and that's a little something for my generation to you and the listeners here. You had you went on a rant. They were counting on that, and you got taken down. So you got the rite of passage now. It's kind of a badge of honor to get your channel taken in this day and age. Get your channel taken down. But like I say, I think your strong suit is your videos. When Justin Simmons has to come out and talk about his accolades. But you got yourself a new channel. Can you tell me what the name of that is?
Colby's Player Breakdown.
Colby's Player Breakdown. You know, when you do film and you just show film, it's like spitting cyanide at them with every frame. And they don't fear me. They just, I'm just here like a talking head in the dark. You, on the other hand, your films are fantastic. They are fantastic. They really are. And prompted the fake to come out and I got accolades. But this is the training camp sell you the fake. And they'll have a whole carnival going on over there. They'll have balloons, they'll have ribs, they'll have mac and cheese, and they'll have Kool-Aid. Plenty of Kool-Aid to go. Wash all that down while they sell you the fake. Oh yeah, are the Broncos going to be in the playoffs, Super Bowl this year? I'm just reading my Sparkin script. I will be at the game. Or I meant training camp. Couldn't read it. So, I find it very interesting that you can be death threatened on YouTube. And they'll leave that up. That's okay. And then you got people like Cody Rourke will give himself a high five, pat himself on the back. Oh, look what we did when you were the one that stuck your head in the guillotine and pulled the lever itself. They didn't do anything. That was all on you. But what you actually did that, you can say you did, is you got, like I said, you got the fake to come out and look at my accolades. So, and now believe me, I was just I couldn't stop laughing. That was so embarrassing because we are an embarrassment. We'll just get embarrassed again. I find it interesting. Yes, exactly. Yep. Okay, well, I want to say something about too that was brought up about your film. You had detractors come and say, "Why are you showing your high school?" This was until he did a rant. This was a film session. Okay, we look at the evolution of a player to see how they went from point A to where they are, point B or point C, whatever. And something I didn't really realize myself. Me and you got into the dosage conversation because I finally sat down and was able to watch dosage film, right?
Yeah, finally after months.
The myth, the man, the myth, the legend, Gold Jacket himself. So we got in the conversation, and I didn't think about it, but you were talking about the Ravens had picked up a tight end, and what was that guy's name again?
His name was Isaiah Likely.
Likely, that was it. It was Likely. And I think it'll be interesting to watch. Likely, you rated him in the same rounds, but above him, later rounds, but above. And you gave your reasons. Again, this goes. See, what happens when you got 7 channels, 8 channels saying the same thing? Oh, I was going to queue up to make the point. I was going to queue up the part where you hear all 40 channels saying, a threat to our democracy. It's just like out of, old Soviet Union or something. And that's something that I can understand, that I don't think your generation, or even maybe 10 or 20 years older than you, could understand, all this propaganda coming out. We knew what it was, we'd laugh at it. But you have 8 channels saying the same thing. They don't, all these people was like, oh, you told me what to like now. Okay. Dosage, because they don't have all the, it's like, a French lady told me this when I was in France. She said, you guys, call yourself democracy. And she says, they put 2 fake candidates. This is back in the 80s. She says, they put 2 fake candidates, and, here's your choice. When, if you really had a choice, it would be a choice. So, a lot of different, and it's just like this, like, here you get carrots or peas, but then, they don't tell you about the corn. They don't tell you about, broccoli. They don't tell you about everything else that's out there, even meat. They'll tell you about insects maybe, but scrumdiddlyumptious, again, selling you the fake, get rid of the good and sell you the fake. So, I didn't think about all the selections, because I haven't actually sat and looked at every single one of these guys like you have. So I don't have a point of reference. So when these people get all butthurt, don't say no, you hate it. It's about evaluation. It's about looking at every aspect out there, looking at all the options out there, critiquing all the options, and finding which ones would work best. I said to you, I just don't think this organization is going to help Dulcich out at all. He's a guy that really needs to be on an organization that would help him. He's not Gronk. He's not Kelsey. He certainly is not that. And he certainly isn't better than Schobert. I mean, of course, Elway's going to have to make a point. So the guy that actually is better is going to sit on the bench, while the guy that needs to learn from the guy sitting on the bench is out there, because it's dysfunctional at Mile High. And this training camp, we're going to see the dysfunction. We're going to be sold a bill of goods, that the dysfunction is a bill of goods. That's what I meant to say. Get it?
Well, this whole situation with my channel, it's a learning experience more than anything, in my personal opinion. It's really funny to me that I get death threats and all this, like you said, all this nonsense, and that flies. But I do one rant video, and I put my head in the noose, and I did it to myself. We all know this. But at the end of the day, I don't think it needed to be correlated to taking down my whole entire channel. You could have just took away that one video. I would have been perfectly fine with that.
Oh, but you don't understand. It doesn't matter what you think.
It does matter.
Them too. It's them
I
too.
put a lot of time and effort into that channel, and I put a lot of time and effort into those film reviews that people think are easy, which it's not. Though, when I do high school film reviews, you were talking about that, and I actually want to hit on that point, because I think that's a good point you brought up. When you talk about an evolution of a player, that's why they fear me. That's why they fear me, is because I actually go back and watch their high school tape, college tape, and now they're the All-22 on NFL.com. And when you talk about an evolution of a player, and you actually don't go along with the narrative, and you don't, get ribs and mac and cheese and Kool-Aid, and you have you have your script in front of you, Justin Simmons on ESPN.com is ranked the best safety in the league. Like, I don't really need to be a robot to understand that.
Yeah, let me just mention something real quick. Is that because I'm the old guy, You know, I have this thing. It's called a knowledge of history. I know history because I lived it. And other people call that the odometer, you know. But back in the 90s, 1990s, Sports Illustrated would every year come out just swearing up and down, you know, we're Sports Illustrated. We know what we're talking about, you know, because there was no social media and that stuff. No, the internet was pretty new. And they just swore up and down that the Raiders were the next. I mean, they were it. They were the thing. They were. Oh man, this year it's going to be different. This year, the Raiders. Oh my God, the Raiders. And we would just all laugh. We would all just laugh. You know, here we go again. And that's where we are here. So, you know, I don't want to hear about ESPN. I don't want to hear about PFF. I mean, especially these guys cheering on Jawan James as if that was going to be something. I mean, so it's just a rehash of that. But now it's the Broncos, you know. Oh yeah, it's just you don't know. So what I can't understand is how does a team as bad as the Denver Broncos, okay, how do you all of a sudden, you know, talk yourself into that you're the next thing? You know, I want to talk about this just really quick on that note. We had Seattle reporters actually listen to you. Again, your videos, they're so powerful. Listen to you, listen to us, take, you know, okay, I'm going to go look at this, see if what these guys, they say, look at the video. And we challenged it. We challenged actual reporters to look. And they in Seattle, we had a reporter at 104.3, the Fan Seattle. What's your name? Ariel, whatever. Seattle, not Denver. So they looked at the film, and they, my God, it was a what the fuck moment. My God, when they saw how bad the Denver Broncos were, and then they talked about it at 104.3, the Fan in Denver. What happened to that conversation? It wasn't they're picking us. It was a logical. It was a well done report. There was a phone call, I'm sure, that came in upstairs, you know, in the biggest office in Dove Valley. You know, got to take it down because you can't have when you're selling the fake, you can't have real. You know, when you get rid of the real Von Miller and they sell you the fake Justin Simmons, you can't have these conversations. You go to Cody Rourke thinking that you're going to have some kind of anything meaningful there, and you got fans from other teams coming in saying, "What the hell are you people talking about?" Oh, that's all got to get taken down. But I want to say, how do they respond? How do they respond to that report by Seattle? How did they respond? The very next day, they come out with a butthurt video, and it's so embarrassing. I mean, this is why you're toxic. This is why, as fans, you're toxic, because you went and you sat there and cried a river like little girls, you know, little 9-year-old girls. It's totally embarrassing, and their little butthurt video is totally embarrassing. I mean, it's this fake. John Elway had taken a real Pat Bowlen organization, and now they're trying to sell you this fake. And it's embarrassing. It really is. Any real Bronco fan, it just would be livid with this stuff. You know, it just all we can do is just let it play out. That's all we can do. And eventually, there's a really strong antidote for this poison that's going on in the Broncos. It's called accountability. And sooner or later, now that Walton is running the team, there's going to be some accountability. I hope, but you know, we're looking at maybe 2 years of this shit. So I just wanted you to get your take on that article, the Seattle article. They definitely looked at us. They definitely looked at your film, or we gave them. They looked at film themselves. In
Well,
reality, the reality of the situation hit the real.
well, I want to hit on the Greg Dulcich point, and then I will get into that article. It's gonna be a quick point on Greg Dulcich. We're gonna hear from. I did it in my rant video yesterday that we're gonna hear a bunch of great things about Greg Dulcich, because Elway can't help himself when it comes to his players and different players. When you talk about the John Elway players, we're going to hear it with Jerry Jeudy. I said the same thing in my rant video. We're going to see how we're going to be told how great of a route runner he is, how great of a separator he is. And I guess that when I do a film review, that's false information. But when I show man-to-man coverage consistently, that's not false information. And let me do an educational school here for just a second. When you are a receiver in a corner, when you're a corner specifically, when you're playing man-to-man coverage on a consistent basis, and it's not just
On that same receiver,
on that same receiver, and it's not in spurts, it's consistently throughout the entire football game. That corner doesn't fear your separation ability. That's facts. That's football 101. I don't need to put out stats, analytics, articles to back up that. When the film
to sell you the fake.
When it consistently is proven that Jerry Jeudy isn't a great separator, and you can say that, well, in the National Football League, the sports writers say that he had the best separation ability in the league. I don't need sports writers to tell me what I need to see on film because they're obviously not watching it. They're obviously
selling you the fake.
Yeah, selling you the fake. So So when it comes to, let me circle back around to the Greg Dulcich thing. I think this player in Greg Dulcich is so overhyped that it's just you were watching film on him against LSU. Okay, good opponent, good player personnel. He's nowhere to be seen. Like
in the first quarter.
Well,
he got he got the ball stripped from him by a spindly, much smaller DB than him, taken down, ball stripped. They had to review it. I mean, he could never get control of it. That's why it was never a touchdown, because it was stripped. It was like a strip six, but he never could even get control of it. So he evaporates for a quarter. Then they put him in from what I saw. And sure, he was wide open and caught a pass because nobody wanted to cover him. And then when they finally covered him, the quarterback smartly didn't throw the ball his way. So
yeah, he is an inconsistent player. He's an inconsistent player, in my personal opinion. That's
okay. You hit this right on with your rant. He is a poor man's version at best of Noah Fant. Poor man's version. He's much slower than Fant, and also his blocking is non-existent. There is no. I mean, this guy has got to be just a route runner.
I believe Noah Fant is a more willing blocker than Greg Dulcich, in my personal opinion.
Well, I mean, neither. I mean, if it was more,
of course, neither one wasn't good at it, but at least when Noah Fant was forced to block, he was actually willing to block.
Well, I can't say that Dulcich isn't. I mean, first of all,
blocker.
I mean, if it was, Noah Fant was not Elway's pick. All right, was not Elway's pick.
No, that was a Rich Scangarello pick.
Yeah. So here's the difference: is Dulcich probably won't have to block because it's an Elway pick. So he'll be said, you're just a wide receiver, so don't even worry about blocking.
Albert O block now consistently. Now, am I saying Albert O is a bad blocker? No, but consistently he's not a good blocker. In spurts he is. We got into an argument this past season with Albert O on a play that sprung board a certain running play. I said, no, it was Albert O that sprung board that play. You thought it was a lineman, And then you went back and watched the film and you're like, okay, it was Albert O that got that first initial block that springboarded that running play. That's the power of film. That's the power of film. And you know what? Like I said, I'm not going anywhere. Okay. This was a learning experience for me. Okay, it's done and over with. Now going forward, it's going to make me this whole next phase in my film reviews is going to be a whole lot better than what I did before. And you know what? You guys can try and take me off of YouTube. It's not going to happen because I'm going to continue to find ways to put out film, and BitChute is another way too, which I should have been doing a long time ago. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying you got to play chess, especially with these ding dongs. Yeah, they don't like it, that when you're playing chess, and your film is playing chess, with a bunch of schoolgirls here,
Mental midgets,
mental midgets. Yeah. So rant less, show more.
Yep.
Show more.
Yep.
That's your strength, and that's what they really fear. So honestly, they fear it. Because, I mean, like you said, we got the Seattle Reporter to come out and take a look. And
well, I think I said I get into that Seattle Reporter, so I apologize. I think this is going to be one of the worst training camps in terms of PR stunts I've ever seen. I think it's going to be worse than Trevor said. It's going to be so bad. I honestly believe it's going to be very bad. I'm not going on a rant. I'm just saying, like, when you talk about this whole situation, they're gonna try and hype up Justin Simmons, and then when they put out the highlights from practice, he's gonna get beat over the top like in OTAs and during the seasons the past 3 to 4 years. It's gonna happen.
Except for that scheduled throw to a
scheduled interception from the backup.
Scheduled interception, yeah.
Yeah, the scheduled interception from the backup quarterback, Josh Johnson or Brett Rippon, whichever one's going to be the backup quarterback. But anyway, and then you're going to have Greg Dulcich hype, Jerry Jeudy hype. Oh, don't forget about Draymond Jones because we have to pay $13 million a year to a guy that can't really do anything. Yeah, hot potato. But it's and then you have the middle of the field that is just going to be eaten alive, and then you're going to hear, oh man, that Russell Wilson is throwing dimes in the middle of the field. Well, if you had Baron Browning and you got some of the linebackers in this past draft that I wanted, maybe you wouldn't have Russell Wilson consistently throwing dimes in the middle of the field, which I did a film review on my channel, Colby's Players Breakdown of Russell Wilson last night. I said, and I want to hear your opinion on it, just a little preview. I said that Russell Wilson is more comfortable throwing outside the numbers than in the middle of the field when it's easy throws. That's that's what I saw on film because I went back and watched it again. And what I found was, and this is me having learning experience and me figuring out more stuff on Russell Wilson. He is not comfortable throwing in the middle of the field at all. I'm sorry, he's not. He's more comfortable throwing outside the numbers. And is that going to work? Not consistently, because when you have the Tom Brady's, the Peyton Mannings of the world, they thrived in the middle of the field with accurate footballs that were fast, that were the quick time throws in the middle of the field. That's what Tom Brady excels at. That's what nobody wants to bring that up. They want to bring up his throws on the outside the numbers, but everything starts and ends in the middle of the field. That's what the NFL is now.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially in this era of the NFL.
Yes. Yep.
But this is what I have to say is you're looking at Russell Wilson behind the Seattle Seahawks offensive line. This is a disaster. This is a disaster waiting to happen.
Well, again, I understand that, but when he had time, okay, let me rephrase that. When he had a more consistent time throwing the football in the middle of the field, he would rather go outside the numbers than get in that easy check down pass that could be a 10, 20, 30 plus yard thing. And then he'll throw a 10-yard in route that is only going for 9 to 10 yards when he could have got a better. And that's another issue too, where there are plays in a game where when you talk about Russell Wilson, well, the receiving core there was way better than what we have in Denver. That's no question. That's not even debatable. And that's what the Seattle people said too. The Seattle article, they had to axe that article too because of certain things that we know, but the audience, certain people don't understand. But when you talk about Russell Wilson, there are plays in a game where he takes plays off the field. And what do I mean by that? When I showed a play where DK Metcalf had a 20, 30-plus yard gain, it was like it was a seam hanging route right there. You had the corner open up Janoris Jenkins, and then you had a 10-yard in route below that. You could have got a much better play from the DK Metcalf route than you got from the other receivers route. Those are the little things that I'm looking at. He holds on to the ball too long, all the above. There are things that you have to be worried about Russell Wilson. We've had Seattle fans that have come and said exactly what we said, and then you have these Bronco fans that are for freedom of speech, right? For the freedom, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
as they take articles down,
yeah,
that other people put up comments that other people around the league, but yeah, that's freedom. That's again, that you can't sell the fake when you bring that up. That I looked at Russell Wilson right off the bat.
Yep.
I went to the All 22 and went through all the games that he played in. And there was all kinds of things going on. There was the injury, which that had an evolution to it. There was hold on a second. There was the prior injury, Russell Wilson. Okay, go ahead.
No. The film review I did was the Week 2 game against Tennessee. Go ahead. This was before his injury.
Well, what I did is I took the whole season, and I sat down and I dissected the whole season. So, Russell Wilson, the criticism, there's just criticism out there. He doesn't throw in INTs, but what he does instead is take sacks. So you could sit there and say, well, Drew Lock was throwing some interception, but he's taking, instead of throwing interception, he's taking some sacks. So he would get himself in trouble because he wants to go, because he can. I mean, he's physically able to get the ball out at long distance. But like you said, being a quarterback isn't just throwing bombs away. I mean, you got to take a book from Brady, from Joe Montana,
from
Peyton Manning, and he's not John Elway. He's not going to run around. That's not his. Every time he would run around, the percentage. You want to talk about stats now? You could see it in the film that his percentage of completion it went down like the Hindenburg.
Well, then you have the 17 games now plus the playoffs. You have 21 games in a season if you even get to the playoff. So him running around with the chicken with his head cut off isn't going to work out. He's more comfortable being a pocket passer than running left and right and around and everything. And you said it in your film reviews. He's more comfortable in the pocket. And this whole notion that Seattle's offensive line was trash, it wasn't trash.
I want to get into that. I want to get it because you asked me. I want to get into that. I watched the season, and it wasn't just Russell Wilson. There was a major difference between what I see with the Broncos in the offensive line and them. And this is the thing: Seattle fans took the challenge. The reporter took the challenge, and they looked at our offensive line, and it was like a holy shit moment. Like, wow. And it's like what I know is going to happen, because Russell Wilson isn't any different than any other quarterback in the league, is that this offensive line is going to make him see ghosts, because sometimes they're blocking great. Sometimes, and then other times it breaks down really breaks down. Then all of a sudden it's good again. If you can't feel comfortable that as a quarterback that, you don't know when your head's going to get taken off, it's going to make you see ghosts. And that's just a reality. It doesn't matter if it's Pee-wee. It doesn't matter if it's the big leagues. I mean, if you have that much inconsistency in the offensive line, it is going to manifest itself in the quarterback's head.
Well, okay, it's okay, and this is what I did in my rant video too. Am I shocked that Billy Turner's injured? No, I'm not shocked. Same with Randy Gregory. Am I shocked? You could have signed Billy Turner. I said this in my video yesterday. You could have signed Billy Turner 3 to 5 years ago instead of allocating all that money to one guy who basically played 3 games for you in 2 years. Billy Turner was more consistent in Green Bay than his first couple months here in Denver. I mean, it is so eye-opening to me that you bring back Billy Turner when he's 30-something years old, 30, whatever age he is. But you could have signed him when he was 26, 27, drafted somebody, let him develop under Billy Turner, and then you didn't have to. It's just, oh, man. That's the stuff that pisses me off, is because that is what the proper organizations do in the National Football League, not this Kool-Aid drinking, cult following. Just it is so out of control. Sports Illustrated, I have all these accolades, right? It's my Madden rating isn't what it's up to standards. Oh man, I gotta throw a temper tantrum. All this stuff that you get from the Denver Broncos, but then when you go to the Bills,
you're a guy that knows something about temper tantrums.
yeah, that is very true. That is very true. But anyway, the Bills don't do that. The Chiefs don't do that. The Steelers don't do that. I mean, that's just to name.
I know. It's embarrassing. These so-called people that call themselves they're embarrassed. They're an embarrassment, and they're so embarrassing they don't even know they're an embarrassment. I mean, you get called out by other people that say, "Look at the film. This is the what the fuck moment."
You have people from other teams that go
That's
on.
what I'm saying.
That go into your message boards, and then I have a conversation with him, and then I can't finish it because you deleted the conversation. But it's okay for you to take down my channel.
Yeah, it's freedom of speech, buddy. That's freedom of speech. They're not there. It's like this. Let me explain something to you. These people are really a joke to me. I can't take them serious. They can't even. That's why I don't get upset with them. Because wait a second. You haven't figured out yet is that you and Cody Rourke, all the others, you guys do different things. They all do the same thing. What you're doing is diametrically different. They're not there to actually look at what's going on. They're there to sell you the fake. So wait. So my first encounter with Cody Rourke was this film he did. And I'm like, wait a second, you're blaming Locke on a play is completely asinine design. And then his response to that was defending Shermer to the bitter end. And I knew he wasn't real. I knew these people aren't real. That's what you think they're real. They're not real. Cody Rourke isn't real. He's not real. Hold on a second. I'm not done yet. Just hold on a second.
I'm not looking at Cody Rourke's. All I'm talking about is
they're all the same. They're carbon copies of each other.
I'm talking about these people. I'm talking about the other fans that I want to have a conversation with these people. I'm not worried about.
I understand. But they're not there to do that. They're not there so you can do that. You have to understand.
Okay, well then, but then again, like this is where people are just. I don't understand why people aren't understanding what I'm saying here. When I understand my temper gets the best of me, I get it. I understand that. I get it. I've heard it for years. I've heard it. I like the criticism, but again, all I'm talking about is when I have a conversation with the person, I'm trying to get their input on their team.
You got to understand. I know what you're saying. I understand all that, but they are not going to allow both of you to do that.
Okay, well then their channel should be taken down and shadow banned.
It won't be.
Well,
it won't be. It won't be. Just that.
Oh, but my channel can be taken down because I do a fucking rant video, and maybe off the hinges.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they need to take down every single fucking video.
They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you. That's what you got to understand. They don't care. It's not right. I didn't say it was right. I'm just saying they don't care. You have to. You have to know the rules of war. You have to know they don't care. You can't have a conversation, a meaningful conversation, because they're not there for that. They're there, again, to sell the fake. If they weren't there to sell the fake, you could have that conversation. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, I just want to finish what I was saying, the point I was making. Though, when I dealt with, I learned my lesson with what Cody Rourke was with the film, because he's sitting here defending Shermer to the bitter end, and I'm saying this is a crap play. Guess who comes in with his own film, Kurt Warner, and he says exactly what I said. So I know you have to do your own film. That's just the bottom line. You can't go to Mr. Fake's website there and have a conversation. It's not going to happen. Right, wrong, or indifferent, they're not going to let you do that. That's why I don't bother with them. They don't upset me because I know what they are. I can't get mad at a scorpion because it's a scorpion. It's stupid. YouTube is them too. If you want to be on their platform, you have to play by the rules of engagement. And to me, like I said, for you, where you put the dagger into their heart and twist it is that was such a beautiful conversation you got in. You show the film, talk about with that guy trying to call you disinformation, and you calmly tell him, well, this is how it is in football. This is football 101. And he can't dispute that, so he ends up getting all pissed off. He's the one that's all butthurt because he can't dispute, what is just football 101, what you can see on film. That's how you put the dagger in and just twist it into their heart, But once you start doing things like posting and having conversation, you're now giving your, maybe you could have got information, say, hey, here, come to Colby's film session. Maybe he would have got to see that, and then you guys could have, he could have went to someplace real to have a conversation. You guys really could have had a conversation, but it ain't going to happen at 8 fake channels that have to take down articles. It's not going to happen. It's just not. So you got to make your own. And like I said, I was just like, they're doing victory laps because you stuck your neck in a noose, but I was doing victory laps when you actually did something on your own and got Justin Simmons to look like a fucking butt clown. I got accolades. I mean, I was on the floor rolling when you showed me that. I was like, that was a victory moment because they wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for you. That's why you are definitely feared by that. And then Seattle, they take a look at the film and it just speaks for itself. They come out and then what does Dove Valley have to do? They have to embarrass themselves. We're so disrespected. How can you tell me? How can a bunch of players that contributed to a team that's been the worst since the AFL days, how can you sit there and make a video talking you're disrespected? Players, you haven't fucking done shit. You're not one pass away from the fucking Super Bowl. You've been in the toilet bowl. And then you want to come out and whine like little girls in skirts. And then you're weak fans, who are weak-minded fans.
Cult followers.
Yeah. I mean, as a Bronco fan, it's embarrassing. You're run by fake. The front office is as fake as a $3 bill. How do you think this season's going to go?
Well, you have the press conferences that are the fake George Payton and them, the puppet master, or not the puppet master, the puppy doll.
The guy who gets his shoulder tapped.
Yeah.
No, not Dan Quinn. Oh, no.
Yeah, no. The shoulder tapped on, but the energy in the building is just palpable this year. I heard that for 6 years.
No, wait. What I heard? When I heard that, again, selling the fake. When I heard this, I thought, did I just get transported back in time? Is Vance Joseph or
man, I was the only person out there that said this guy is exactly Vance Joseph too.
And the whole thing was like, I just got teleported back into time. And
oh my gosh, I'm like, wow, the energy is just palpable this year. Oh my, I've heard that for 6 fucking years.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you this: how are they ever going to actually write themselves into this season? Right? Yeah. Oh, the sports writers are working really hard.
Okay, I know exactly what they're going to do. Do you know how they're going to write themselves into this season?
We never wanted Wilson from the start. It's all Wilson's fault.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. Aaron
Yep.
Rodgers was plan A all along. That's exactly what they're going to do. And when that happens, me and you are going to be the lone voices out there that are going to have to defend Russell Wilson to the bitter end, just like
Well,
Drew Lock and
that may work out in Russell Wilson's favor too, because it's like, hey, I tried. I'm bad. You're right. I'm horrible. I'm going to go to New York. That's where I really wanted. My wife wants to be there too. So,
yeah.
you just.
You gotta love it. You got the energy is just palpable of this training camp. It is so eye opening. You got top 5 at every position.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the separation. Go ahead.
Well, I just got back from the moon. I've been up in the moon for about 10 years. And I listened to those 8 channels. I'm convinced they were just a throw away from the Super Bowl. It was just so close. They were so close to going to the Super Bowl these last few years. How dare you think that they are a bottom feeder? How dare you think that?
Well, you know why they're a bottom feeder is because they've been a bottom feeder for 6 years, and I don't need to be a rocket science to figure that out.
Well,
And I brought this up yesterday too. The top 10 roster from Pro Football Focus last year, they were rated a top 10 roster, yet they went 7-10.
Oh, it's guaranteed 12 wins. They were guaranteed 12. That's what I heard last year. Guaranteed 12 wins.
Yeah.
It's all Russell Wilson's fault.
It's all Teddy Bridgewater's fault too.
It's all Drew Lock's fault.
And that's another thing with Drew Lock too. You brought it up earlier where Drew Lock excelled at
throwing the ball on a rope.
Well, throwing a ball on a rope, but he didn't take it. He didn't take a lot of sacks either.
Again, he was in dysfunction. Again, I just bring it back. Really, it goes full circle. What we said about putting the cart in front of the horse. Poor old Russell Wilson's got to deal with this shit now.
Yep.
I just want to talk really. Go ahead.
But our Madden rating is 84 overall on Madden because we got Wilson.
You know why that happened is they couldn't put Russell Wilson at every single position: blocking, defense, corner, wide receiver.
And it wasn't just outside people. I believe I had Bronco players watching my stuff because Justin Simmons was 91 overall. Well, you weren't voted in the Pro Bowl, so it wouldn't matter.
He laughed. He laughed at it. Yeah, but you weren't voted by these guys in the Pro Bowl.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you. If I was Justin Simmons, I'd probably be just laughing at. Yeah, I'm just hanging out. Hey, they're paying me tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah, did you watch our press conference in Portland Sun yesterday? It was just palpable energy throughout the building.
Palpable energy.
Oh wow, it's palpable. My ribs and my mac and cheese. Woo! My Kool-Aid.
Now I see you made me forget what I was really the point. I had a point that I wanted to make. It's all your fault.
I know. Just you got to ban me now. You got to ban me.
I got to get you banned.
Yep.
You interfered with my synapses.
Hey,
no, it was about the season and how are you going to have to write this in?
It's going to come full circle. Cart in front of the horse.
Yeah. Oh, what happens to that energy when it goes the other way? We didn't beat the team we're supposed to beat. We have these same problems raising their head that they've raised every single season because we can't put Russell Wilson at right tackle, left tackle, center, running back, halfback, tight end. We can't have, Madden 22 where Russell Wilson is the whole entire offense. When the chicken littles come home to roost. Yeah, the chicken littles come home to roost. What are they going to do then?
Barry Wilson. They're going to bury Wilson.
Yeah, I don't know what I was gonna. Anyway, Sometimes I have to stop you because I can't remember.
Well, chickens come home with the
No, it was something about the season and stuff like this, and how what I can't remember now. I'll remember once we get off. Oh yeah, I was going to say something about that, but get into a whole when it was to get into the whole.
Well, you were talking about when we can't beat teams we're supposed to beat, and you were talking.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to see the happy.
Mark.
Well,
we went 1-5 in our division last year, so we should upgrade. So
because sports writers said we
we went 5-1 in our division, not 1-5.
I know. What was I looking at? What was I looking at?
You're looking at
that shellacking that we got from the
Raiders twice.
The Raiders twice. So may have to get going here because I got a lot to do.
Okay.
And not very much time to do it in. So I know that I'm like, oh, fuck, that was what I wanted to talk about, but I'll just have to save it for another time. So I'm going to link your new channel. Don't get yourself, don't give them the opportunity, is all I can say, because your films are definitely what they're counting on you losing your cool, and they're hating everything you put out, and you tell the oh, your disinformation. Oh well, tell me what is it? Jerry Judy, it's not a good suffering. Okay, well, explain to me if this is what you're saying is true, because that's your belief system. I believe. Why is it that every single corner, good, bad, or indifferent, how come they can handle him? How come Jesse Bates, the guy you said was so bad, literally single-handedly eliminated him from any meaningful receptions? Why did he just evaporate? Why was he able to just evaporate? Why was everybody in the NFL was able to so how can I be disinformation when even your own stats show that he didn't do shit? And there's a reason why. The context behind that stat we can see on film by the fact that they just man up on him, and that's all they can do. That's why I'm saying that's how you get them. That's how you just twist that dagger into their heart. There's just going to come a time that this is all going to go. It's not sustainable. What's going on with up there in Dove Valley? This fake. You got it's not sustainable. And like I said, my prediction is that Elway's going to sneak out the back door. I gave Wilson everything. Running out. You gave him nothing. You gave him, like every other quarterback, you gave him nothing. You gave him hot. You gave nothing but hype and fake. And fake isn't sustainable. Fake isn't sustainable. Again, the Chicken Littles are going to come home to roost, as they always do. This is what I wanted to say. This is anyway. I wanted to say this. All these people, the Rourkes, the Spark, and the Bubble, 104, KO, all this stuff. You know how I love my Star Trek references of the old school, right? Mm-hmm. There was the show Spectre of the Gun, and the Spectre of the Gun. And Spock says to Kirk, he goes, well, these bullets aren't real. They can't hurt me. I mean, I know they're not real. I know this whole thing's fake. Everything is fake. Nothing's real. So they can't hurt me. It's just like, it's the same thing. I know these people are fake. That's why I don't get upset with them, because they're not even real. Their job is to sell the fake. So if people, that's what they want to do. If they are so invested in the fake, fine. But they'll end up ripping their plasma screens off the wall when reality sets in. And it's going to be up to real fans to hold. There's a great antidote against these kind of people. It's called accountability. And when you make your films, you hold them accountable, and they hate accountability. And that's what my I'm going to depart with. You know, fake is not going to cut it. You can't what like Spock said, you can't ignore the laws of physics. You just can't do it. You can't write in Justin Simmons being like the top. Reality is something different. You can't write the Broncos offensive line as top 5. Sooner or later, the reality is going to set in. Russell Wilson is going to be a byproduct of what is around him. That's just the bottom line. So, and what's around him is not top 5, top 10. You know, it is what it is. You know, and that's what it's going to be. So you can go ahead, enjoy it now. Training camp, you know, it's training camp Super Bowl. You know, I just don't even know. I mean, I feel that this team to get 9 wins, it's really going to have to. They'll have to get lucky. They're going to have to get home cooking from the referees. A lot of things are going to. Things are going to really have to line up for that to happen. Injuries on other teams hitting them just right or whatever. You know, just to get there, 9 wins, Russ. You got to get 9. I don't know. I just don't. I can't see it happening. Sorry. Without those things happening, those other things.
I agree.
You just can't ignore the laws of physics. So.
Nope.
All right. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Me too. I will link your. I'll upload to BitChute first, and then YouTube second. Just so you know. So Mile High View, Denver Broncos Hard Liquor. So those 2 channels, and then your new channel.
Colby's player
evals.
Player breakdown.
Player breakdown. Okay, see, it's new. So
yeah.
new that.
Colby's player breakdown, and then Colby's film sessions on BitChute.
On BitChute, yeah. We couldn't get rid of them there. So if you want a good rant, go to BitChute. You're going to see a good rant. I'll put your rant. I'll link the rant.
No, because I don't want you getting banned.
Yeah, I probably would get banned for that.
Don't link it. Don't.
Just go to Colby's film session on YouTube or on BitChute, and you get a good rant with some hard liquor.
Yeah.
With some hard liquor.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Film on. All I can tell you is film on.
Film on.
Film on. Yeah. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye.